Tuesday, Fish Talk Live with Mr. Ron Demers. We're on episode number 27 tonight. Got a lot of new things. We're in a new month. Got some new topics. This is going to be really cool, so stand by. Hey, do those shares right now. We want to definitely see if we can push this out and get 100 people on today. We want to do that today. Let's make it our goal. So go ahead and share those things out. And I'm going to do my shares real quick. Getting ready to start, everybody, and you know how it goes. We are going to share this out and try to get 100 people on. We got a great show tonight. Ron's got a good topic. When do we upgrade? When do we upgrade our fish? When do we upgrade our tanks? So here we go. Let's start this show. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Tuesday Fish Talk Live with Ron Demers. How's it going, everybody? Dave Gould here, and we are getting ready for episode number 27. Straighten out my headphones a little bit. So what Fish Talk Live is a live gamified show on social media, and we are also on YouTube and Periscope. And I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted here. And we're also live on Twitch. So if you want to watch those on any of the other streaming servers, just search for Ron Demers. And when you do, give us a like on that as well. We are trying to create a gamified experience. So this is like fish keeping with prize giveaways, topics, sponsors, and all that. So we got a bunch of cool stuff for you tonight. And we're looking forward to seeing everybody's interaction. One of the coolest things I get to do each week is I get to introduce our host, Mr. Ron Demers. Now, if you don't know Ron is an African cichlid breeder. He's been doing it for 25 years. He's down in West Palm Beach, Florida. He's also when he's been doing it for so long, he's understands food and all of that. And so he's created his own food, and it's called Ron Cichlids. So I call him the fish food chef. He's also an awesome father and husband, and here he is, it's Mr. Ron Demers. What's going on, Ron?
What's up, brother? Thank you. Appreciate the intro.
Yeah. How's it going?
Everything's good. Everything's good. It's a good day. It's been a long day, but it's been a good day.
Yeah. Well, we're glad you're here with us.
Didn't mean to scare you all last week.
Not dead. You want to tell people? You don't have to. Obviously, it's your private business.
There's been an outflow of people that have reached out to me and personally called me and personally messaged me to see how I was doing, and it's amazing, that I'm just that guy who's been helping some people with fish, and before you know it, I've built relationships with people where they actually genuinely care about my health and me. So Friday I had some issues, and Thursday I had some issues. Friday I had a lot more issues. Friday I found myself in an ambulance and went to the emergency room, and apparently from all the doctors, I was having a stroke. So needless to say, Friday was a very scary day for me indeed.
Yeah, pushing it a little too hard, huh?
Yeah, I think I've got too many hands and too many cookie jars, and I just run myself ragged. Um, for whatever reason, I did not actually go through with having a stroke. Either they caught it in time or it was something else. But I'm better.
Yeah, we're glad you are. Glad you are,
I
buddy.
just wanted to say thank you to everybody who reached out to me. I am going to spearhead my health in the next few weeks and get to the bottom of it. So I appreciate everybody being compassionate about me. It didn't go unnoticed. Thank you.
Well, sometimes with those types of things, it's good for us to have the happen at our age. It gives us a chance to
Yep.
stop and slow down and look at our lifestyle and what's going on. So glad you're here. Glad it wasn't too much trouble. I'm glad it was a good eye opener for you.
It was. It's
Yeah.
There's going to be some life changes. I've already started already.
Good.
And while we're on the subject, you know what? I want to touch on this for all of you guys, and you might want to incorporate this in your life as well. Uh, from this point forward, I'm pretty certain my team, we are not under any circumstance going to engage with these internet trolls, these internet haters, and these people who are jealous of me or Dave or my business. So you are not going to see me on any forum other than my own. I will not, under any circumstance, even say hello, thank you, you suck. None of those things. I'm not going to say a word.
So can I give a little background? So because we got
Absolutely.
a little, some people that don't know. Anyway, so Ron makes his own food, obviously, and some people are jealous of that. We call them the haters or the trolls, and they're just trying to get a reaction out of Ron. And it's
in my success with the business,
Yeah.
listen, we have taken African cichlid keeping and helping people to a new level, and there are people that feel threatened by that
yeah.
because they can't do it. And instead of stepping up their game, they have chosen to be hurtful and malicious to us.
Yeah, well, here's the thing, and we've been saying this from the very beginning. Like, hey, are you an admin? Let us help promote your thing. The thing is rather than troll, which is usually like a biting type of stab, and like reach out and say, hey, how can I be involved in that too? How can we do something together? It doesn't have to be so competitive. But anyway, so that's good, Ron. Obviously, it sounds like some of that was giving you some stress and causing
So
you.
if any of you guys are seeing people talk about me behind my back, I don't want to know anymore. I'm sorry. I appreciate all of you guys. You guys
Yeah.
always stick up for me. You always go to bat, but I'm not going to deal with it anymore.
Yeah.
I don't have time for it in my life.
Yeah, it's kind of old anyway. Those same few people. I totally just would love to say who it is and put them in their place, but it's just not
No,
worth it.
that's just catering to what they want.
Yeah.
So
So anyway, if you hear that bad, just ask Ron. Just say, hey, can you tell me what the real story is? Because obviously there's no real story. Anyhow, tell us who you're seeing. You got a ton of friends right now. You got 63 online. Who are you seeing online? And tell me what's going on.
I see my boy Kevin Meisner. He's a local customer, great guy. Matt Gin and Whiskey, Mark, Chad Fisher, Ella Gregory, our one of our mods, Rebecca Dunn. Stay safe, sweetie. Jason Hansen, of course, our boy Paul Weiser, Carmen
Mr.
Sippel.
Weiser.
She's another one of our lady fish keepers. Mike Neighbors.
I wonder if that's Beth Neighbors' husband. Is that?
It is.
Yeah,
It
awesome.
is. It is.
Another local
two really good
Alabamian.
people, really nice people. Yep, down in your neck of the woods.
Yeah.
But a lot of great people on here. A lot of familiar faces. Once again, if we get to 100 fish tonight, we're going to give away a fish. But
100.
a bunch of great people. I appreciate y'all's support as always.
Yeah.
There's Phil. There's Beth. There she is.
How about 100? If we can get 100 on it, and what does it take to get to 100? Well, share that out. You can just push that share button right now. Share it on your personal page. Get your friends interested, and share it in other groups as well. Go ahead, Ron.
We should have a pretty great show. Tonight, we're going to talk about how to sneak a bigger tank in the house when the wife is on vacation.
Exactly. Yeah.
Or for Lori and Lori Venker,
Joe.
you guys both love fish tanks, so I don't know how that's going to work.
Yeah. I say, hey, baby, make me a sandwich, and it's all good.
Yeah, while you're not really long sandwich, you got a new fish tank in the living room. So yeah, we're going to talk about we're going to touch on upgrading tanks and upgrading when it's time to upgrade anything. We're going to try to touch on certain aspects of it. But
I think Ron's going to give you the tank and fish and thing. I'm going to try to throw in a few like, hey, this is kind of cool. Like Wi-Fi outlets and things like that. So.
Dave's gonna throw in some fancy technology, new stuff. The stuff that's a little newer that you guys may not have heard on, so you guys can go look that up. And I'm gonna be a little more old school, things that you may know or you may know but forgot. So
before we jump too further, because I'm just looking at it, and you know how it just grates my nerves when the internet is dropping frames, and it's obviously Tuesday at 8:00. There's something that's going on in the world, because any other time we do this. So anyway, while Ron is continuing to give you some of the information about this, throw in the chat what would be another good time for Fish Talk Live. So is it Wednesday Fish Talk Live or Saturday afternoons, or anyway. So go ahead, Ron.
No, that weekend thing isn't going to work for me. Daddy got to have his time and space.
Yeah,
but I want to do some mentions. Turn on your Facebook Live notifications, and you'll get notified every week that Fish Talk Live is getting ready to come on.
Here's the graphic on that.
Also, you can go straight to Fish Talk Live, the Facebook page. It's fishtalklive.tv. It's all one word. You can also go to the website and see all past episodes. So if you watch this episode tonight and we talk about filtration, and you go back through and find out it was episode so-and-so, you can do a little more research from our previous episodes. Please try to go full screen when you watch this. It makes it much nicer viewing. Some people even watch it on their big screen TVs. So for us who are hard of seeing, go full screen. Share and like, as Dave mentioned, to your personal page and groups. We're trying to grow this out, and it's for a reason. You'll see it here in the next few weeks. There's a lot of big announcements coming soon, and every extra share and like adds up, and it helps the bottom line, so we can even give back more to you guys. I love talking to you guys, so if you want, please call in. Quite a few times people have called in, and we've given away prizes and gift cards. I'm not tempting you to call in for that reason, but please, don't be shy. Call in, ask me your questions, and we'll have a little chat, and I'll do my best to answer it.
I think it's one of the best parts of the show is when people.
Oh, absolutely! I really enjoy talking to people. That's my life. I'd rather talk to you on the phone and help you than message you. And then once again, even if you don't want to call, I can't always get to all the questions in the chat. I'll do my best because I'm trying to focus on the show. But you can always go back to the Facebook page, Ron Cichlids, and ask your questions, and I will definitely answer them, or somebody will answer them. We've got so much help now with intelligent people who know about fish keeping that I find myself not needing to always be the one to answer all the questions, which is nice. It's nice to see the community growing, getting more educated, and paying it forward. So I commend all of you guys. That's realistically always been my goal, is to teach you guys more so you can share that knowledge to others. I appreciate it. You can go to roncichlids.com and you can check out, like I said, all the past episodes. You can also check out the spin to win wheel. And
so on that, if you want to try that out, it's just a test. You're not going to win anything. But if you go to roncichlids.com/wheel.
Yeah, that's a great place to go just to play with it, to see how it works. You guys may not always see how it works on our end because we're asking you for color and where you put it, and we control that, and then it's of course random. But if you're curious how that works, go try it out. You got a couple minutes to spare. I'd like to give out some shout outs. First, I want to go over the hour groups. Of course, we have on Demers Cichlid Clubhouse, the Mabuna Hangout. These groups are growing pretty quick. The Mabuna Hangout is growing pretty quick. The Lake Tanganyika Clubhouse is growing. Another great group that's taking fish relevant. Ron Demers Aqua DIY, another great group that we share, and mostly our members share their DIY do-it-yourself projects. I know I go back every once in a while and see some cool things. One of our viewers right now, Kevin Shannon, and he's posted quite a few builds on there. Amazing Tank Showcase, Aquarius Marketplace. The marketplace is for anybody to post whatever they want, sell anything. It's wide open. And then we have New World Cichlid Hangout. Of course, we're linked. We're on LinkedIn, Instagram, and Twitter. We're everywhere. So this is pretty cool. I've played around with it, and you guys got notifications on this, but check out the chat bot. Type in star info and check out the chat bot every week. We're using the chat bot to interact with you guys. It helps connect you to me as well. Pretty damn incredible tool, if I may say so myself. But I know someone who knows more about it than me. So Dave, tell us tell us a little more about this.
Yeah, so it's actually one of the coolest things for the show. And the info chatbot does a couple of different things. So right now, if you type in the word star info into the live chat, what will happen is the Fish Talk Live page will contact you, and it'll open up a message. There, what it allows you to do is it allows you to, you can use a one-touch call-in if you're on mobile. So if you're on your phone, you just click and boom, it'll call in the show. It gives information about our sponsors. It gives information about the charities that we're trying to support, and other different things. But another cool thing is every week we reach out and we tell you what's coming up this week, and sometimes we do giveaways. And so because that is there, I'm going to give it away right now. Ron, let's do it. So let's just not give anybody any time to catch up on that. Here it is, the chatbot giveaway. Sent out a message earlier for that. And so this person is going to spin the wheel. So let me pull up here. And, oh, that was interesting. I love it when the music sets off perfectly. All right, so here we go. Just give me 1 second. Let's go. Actually, that music is caught in some sort of weird loop, obviously. So here we go. Let me go to my post right here. And let me pull up this again. Let's go here. There's that. Okay. So here's post. All right. Here's the woo picker. All right. So here's our top one right here. We're going to go ahead and pick a winner off of that. And usually I run it through. So this, whoever pops up here is not going to be a winner because we do one to clear it, is what I always call it. So let's unpick that person. Okay, so it was a special code that I told people to put in. Not one person put it in. I'm looking it up right now. Don't have a single person.
when we first started, a lot of people were typing something in with a 19 in there, and I didn't know what that was. Was that it?
Yeah, that was it. Actually, they're starting to show up now.
They were in the very beginning of
All
the
right,
show.
so this is our chatbot winner right here. That's Ella Gregory. Ella Gregory. So congratulations. We're not going to spin right this second. We are going to spin for you. So when we get to the spin part of the show, we're going to do that. So that's the info bot, chat bot, however you want to call it. It's a really cool setup, and it allows us to do a bunch of different things. And so, Ron, it's still a little too early, but we've been talking to several companies about sponsorship. So Ron and I and the admins have had a couple of exciting things, like, wow, here's some news. Check this out, right? Oops,
yeah, it's like you have to go, what? Really?
Yeah. So anyway, the chatbot is something that's really cool for the sponsors as well. Hey, for those people that have called in, looks like Mississippi, just hold the line. We are going to do that spin to win for the chatbot peoples, and what was I going to do? So we're right here. There's a few things that I want to do. I'm going to take over for just 1 second, Ron, and do some shout outs, some group shout outs. So first thing is I want to emphasize is that if you want your group shouted out, if you want to be in a cooperative mode, if you'd like to piggyback on some of the success, we've had 100,000 people view this show in 27 episodes. And, if you want to help do that and you're cool with us sharing it out and maybe sharing before the show, like what it's going to be, give us send Ron or myself a message either on the Fish Talk Live page or the Ron Cichlids page. So one of those people that is like, hey, yeah, we really dig the show. I'm sorry, but I have one single hair that keeps getting right in my face, golly, is Mr. Paul Weiser with New England Cichlid Association. So I'd just like to thank you, Paul, for all of your help and support with the show. Scott DeFore with Frontosa Lovers, another great group on Facebook. Our good friend TJ Huffstedler is our question moderator, and he actually has a group called the Southeast Fish Addicts. Look that one up. West Coast Cichlid Exchange is another one of our moderators. Isaac Garcia. Crown Royalty Cichlids is Nathan Pate, and he's got a cool group going on over there. Really chill. There's no drama in that group ever, nothing like that. A shout out to Darcy Lynn Edwards with Fish Tubers Notification Squad. So I'll say it again, Fish Tubers Notification Squad. It's actually a cool place to see shows that are like our show here. Girls for Fish with Brett Cox, Malawi Madness, of course, Roger Esparza. He's keeping that a nice small group with a very... yeah, it's changed. I'm just wondering why it didn't change on my iPad. And then I've been having this conversation with a new friend of mine. His name's Mr. Walter Kelly Crew. He's a Army medic veteran. And he's got a really cool group called the United Tanks of America. So go check that out. Go check it out. Tell him, say, hey, I saw a shout out on Fish Talk Live with Dave and Ron, and he's a cool guy, Walter Crew. So we appreciate you, Walter. I told you I was going to give you a shout out tonight, and we did. Now, speaking of the shout out for the New England Cichlid Association with Paul Weiser, what's really cool, and we've been doing this on the show, and we're getting closer, is in July, the New England Cichlid Association is sponsoring the ACA, which is the American Cichlid Association Convention. It's being held July 18th through the 22nd in Cromwell, Connecticut. They got a ton of speakers. Our good friend Larry Johnson is one of those speakers. There's a 4,000 square foot vendor room, a Biotope Cichlid Tanks competition, which is, I'd really like to see that. I'm really into Biotope stuff. And then a Saturday night banquet, multiple auctions throughout the weekend. If you want to register for the convention, go to neciclids.org. So neciclids.org, and you can find hotel information there. So thanks again, Paul, for all your support of the show. We really appreciate and love you, bro. And if anybody's looking to kind of meet and mingle with other cichlid lovers, that would be great.
Happy birthday. It was his birthday the other day.
Oh, yeah. Happy birthday. I did see that. So yeah. All right. So I think we're pretty much good on that. Hey, you got a group, you want us to shout it out for you, contact us. We're like Ron was saying, the competition and all the backbiting, all these weirdos on keep coming out of the woodwork.
Listen, you're a moderator, you're an admin of
Yeah.
a group. I understand there's this Friday rule about sharing. Hey, we do a show on Tuesday.
Yeah.
We could share with you on Tuesday. And listen, we can work together on this. We're happy to work with you guys. Just reach out to us, and we'll give you shout outs every week and steer people your way, and just let us have a share or two once in a while. Let's all get along.
Yeah. So before we go into the episode promo, there's a new show coming out. I've been putting a lot of work into this. It's called Tank Boss. It's going to be the first fish keeping live game show, just a total game show format. It's coming out. If you go to Star Info, you will find Tank Boss on there, and you can then apply. You need to apply to be a contestant, and I would just do it. It's going to be the coolest thing you ever seen. So there's that. Here's our episode promo, Ron.
My name is Sal Canizaro, and I live in Rumson, New Jersey. Welcome to my home, Villa Paradiso. This has been a dream home for us, approximately 16,000 square feet of living space. And we have some really neat features in our home, starting with the aquarium. So this is the recreation room, and it's exactly that. We have a lot of fun in this room. The best thing about the recreation room is the aquarium. By far, your first impression is you're seeing this huge aquarium, these big fish swimming by, and you're like, oh my God, what's that? I haven't seen anything like it in any residential space. I built this aquarium because of my passion for fish. These are native fish from the Jersey coast that I've caught. I raised them since they were, as small as possible that I could catch them. People have dogs, people have cats. I like fish. It's really cool, it's really different. I was inspired to do this by the Atlantis. We've been there on vacation many times in the Bahamas, having those huge aquariums. We don't have sharks in here because the sharks don't have enough space really to swim with the obstructions and the decor that's in there. The glass panels, actually they're acrylic. They're 4 inches thick. One panel weighs about 2,700 pounds, and it had to be lowered in with a crane. It's 15,000 gallons as you see it, but there's another 5,000 gallons of filtration and support to the aquarium.
All right. So I played this video. Ron, you don't have audio. You never get to hear. I figured let's play a video that, hey, you got a 16,000 square foot house. What do you do to upgrade? We'll put a 15,000 gallon aquarium in your house. Anyway, so we're talking about upgrades. You got the show, Ron. Go ahead and let it fly.
All right. Thank you, my friend. Lots of different upgrades. We're going to fly through, touching on the ones that seem a little more obvious to me. We're going to discuss tank upgrades, space, filtration, other equipment, and, when it's time to actually upgrade. So there's several reasons that you may need to upgrade or consider upgrading any of your equipment. So a few reasons are, let's say if you've been contemplating upgrading the tank. So some of the reasons you would upgrade a tank would be fish size. You may have got a fish when he was a cute little 2-inch Oscar at your pet store. Now he's pushing 12 inches and that 29 gallon isn't big enough for him anymore. That's, a good reason for a bigger tank. Behavior of the fish, whether or not they're being very aggressive or getting too big, and that aggression, they need more space. breeding. If you are running a breeding program or you have fish that are breeding, you're going to need more space in there to give females a little more quiet area, so to speak. You may also need to upgrade because your tank is getting old. It may be scratched, parts may be broken or wore out. There's always good deals out there, all the way up to 125-gallon tanks to be had. Plus, you could check out the marketplace or Craigslist or even OfferUp. So many great deals out there. Just got to be patient to find the right one. And of course, a good reason to upgrade too, like that video, is if you won the lottery. And remember, if you won the lottery, I'll send you my PayPal account.
Yeah.
I'll be more than happy to give you shout outs every 10 minutes for the rest of your life.
Yeah, and it seems like you forgot one of the main reasons a lot of people upgrade is because of that tank syndrome. Remember what he called it?
Oh, the multiple tank syndrome.
Multiple tank syndrome. So if you got this rash that keeps growing and you just feel like you have to go that route.
You look back and like, last year I had 1 tank. Now I got 6. You're like, damn, that's where all my money went. Nah, it's still a good hobby. It's still much worse things you can do in life.
You touched on one thing on there, Ron, about tank condition and all of that. And I think a lot of the veterans out there, when they want to upgrade, you're looking for deals online. You're looking, okay, I can get this 75-gallon for $50. And then in the back of your mind, you're like, okay, if 125 comes up, I'm going to go ahead and go with that. And so, I think a lot of people upgrade that way.
There is. I mean, you may have $500 invested in your setup as a 75-gallon tank. And you see a thing on Craigslist where somebody's got a 125, must go this weekend moving, $200. That's a great reason to upgrade. You could move all your fish in a bigger tank, sell your tank, and probably break even at the end of the day. It's just, when you do go looking for those used tanks, go over them with a fine-tooth comb. That's my word of wisdom. And when you do upgrade your tank, you're going to have to take in account space. So I'm going to touch a little bit on, the tank sizes and space. So for most people, 55s and 75s are pretty common size tank. But what a lot of you may forget is how much room that tank actually takes up. So I'm an advocate of everything in my life. Try to get the biggest that you can afford, that you have space for, and that you have time for. So for a fish tank, just budget your rooms, check your budget, check how much room space you have, fish requirements. There's a lot of tanks that have very similar footprints, meaning square footage that they take up in the room. So for instance, you guys who have a 55-gallon tank, you could upgrade to a 90-gallon, not take up realistically any more space. It's still a 4-foot tank. Or you can go to a 90-gallon. You can go from a 55 to a 75 to a 90 or a 110, and you don't take up any more of that precious wall space. But you could go all the way up to doubling your space. Same thing when you decide, I want to upgrade to a bigger tank. So let's say you want that 6-foot tank, and that's your next big tank leap. There's many sizes for 6-foot tanks. You will definitely enjoy the extra length watching the fish swim. The fish will enjoy that extra space. The most common size is 125-gallon. The one that you see right behind me here, this is a 125-gallon Aqueon from PetSmart. They run sales a couple times a year. Tank, stand, glass lids, and lights on sale. I got it a couple weeks ago. It was $4.99. I mean, that should be in a lot of people's budget. But the space that takes up, you could also go to a 150, which is actually just a little bit taller. And then you can go to a 180, which is just a little bit taller than that. It doesn't take up any more room in the house, so to speak. And then if you really decide, hey, I'm going to go big or go home, a 220-gallon tank is a 6 foot by 2 foot by 30-inch tank that is a beautiful showpiece. So just remember that there's a lot of different size options for the square footage it takes up. Also, I want to, just I know you guys probably already know this, but I want to remind you when you do get into these bigger tanks, take into account the space that they take and the weight. Water is 8 pounds per gallon, so a 125-gallon tank is over 1,000 pounds of water. So make sure you don't have a 200-year-old house.
I like Larry Deskin saying he's getting a 10-foot by 24 by 36. So 36 hopefully is the depth, not the height. 24.
I don't know if he's talking 10. I think he's probably meaning 10 foot by 24 inches by 36, because if it was 10 foot by 24 foot by 36 foot, it would be massive. And if it was 10 inches by 24 inches by 36 inches, I probably wouldn't tell anybody.
Yeah. There's one of the coolest, I haven't really looked for him in a while, but he does YouTube videos, and he builds acrylic, mostly just by sheets. That's very expensive to do, by the way. I looked into it. I was like, yeah, I'm going to build me the stair-stepping wraparound, and by the time you buy $400 for a sheet of acrylic, it gets
yeah, and if you're going to spend that much money, you better know what you're doing too.
Yeah. So you're talking about tanks a little bit, about how to upgrade and bigger and longer space and weight you're looking at. How about filtration? So my thought on filtration always is like, I know that I'm going to continuously get bigger tanks. So, and African cichlids love a lot of filtration, right?
Oh, yeah.
So adding another filter. So if you've got a 704 Sun, or you've got a Fluval FX4, adding another one, actually, your fish are going to love you for that. So talk to us a little bit about filtration and upgrades for that, maybe some tips and tricks, anything cool and exciting that you've seen around for that.
Filtration should be the centerpiece of your thinking when it comes to building out a fish tank. It's like building a custom house. You want your man space, your wife wants this beautiful walk-in bathroom with all this stuff. So when you build it, it's focused around the kitchen and the bathroom and some creature comforts that you want. So when you're upgrading to this bigger tank, or even if you don't upgrade to a bigger tank, chances are you need more filtration. And if you do, how do I want to put this? There's a lot of different options. So first you have to identify, should I upgrade to filtration? So I'm an advocate of around 10 times an hour water flow, turnover rate. So if you've got a 100-gallon tank, then 1,000 gallons per hour. So you can key in on how the tank looks and how the fish look. So if you want to upgrade filtration, you have quite a few options. One, there's some really big canisters out there. Chem Tidal, I've been using some of them for about a month now. They're a hang on the back filter. Absolutely love those things. For any of you guys who haven't tried one yet, holy crap. I'm a fan of AquaClear, always have been, but that Chem Tidal puts that AquaClear to shame. Just the way I can clean it out, and all the media it holds, and all the comforts of it. Something else you can do if you want to upgrade to, let's say, a sump, because you are getting tired of looking at your heaters and your filter hoses and stuff in the tank, you can get a wet dry or a sump. For those of you who think that, I have to have a drilled tank, no, that's not correct. For as long as I can remember, first tanks I've ever owned, 25, 26 years ago, my wet dries ran off of a skimmer box. The skimmer box is a $50 to $150 device that basically hangs on the inside of your tank, just a little skimmer box. It looks like a specimen container that the local fish store catches your fish and puts it in before they bag it. Sits on the inside of the tank, and then there's a box on the outside, and it goes down into your sump. And a sump can not only hold more media, but it can hide your heater. It can hide your Purigen and all of your other stuff, and it also will oxygenate the water a lot more in a wet dry. There's going to be
It's easier to do water changes with the sump. There's a lot of advantages to go that route. You can add a lot of different stuff, and
yeah, and then like you wanted, tell us about the algae scrubber and where to put that.
yeah, well, I'm not a big algae scrubber expert, but I know that I've been wanting to do that. So basically, what an algae scrubber does is it has a film that collects that water goes through that you try to grow the algae on, and using specific light frequencies and things like that. So
it keeps it out of the fish tank.
And keeps it out of the fish tank. So just different things like that. There's a lot of you can put Purigen reactors and things like that, which you can actually put Purigen reactors in your tank, but then again, you've got more stuff in there. You know what I mean? What are you showing off?
I had a video last week. I think he posted on the page. Kevin Shannon. He's a big DIY guy, a very very close friend of mine. He built a Purigen reactor, and it's in the sump.
Yeah.
So the sump can hide all of these things that you want to tinker with, and you'll never know it's there. It's underneath the tank.
Yeah. Yeah, so you can get a cleaner look and things like that with the sumps and all that. So, go ahead.
And then, like somebody else said, you can put plants in the sump. Absolutely, you can grow plants in there as well. And depending on how many plants you put in there, that can help remove nitrates as well. So it doesn't have to be this unsightly filter under your tank. It can actually be this little beautiful ecosystem. A lot of saltwater reef guys have these, they call them refugiums, where there's like this little living world under there. There's mangrove roots and plants and all sorts of stuff in there, and it helps keep the water clean. So
check it out. Stacy Smith is asking, how does one hook up a sump? Well, I think we probably need to do a sump, see if we can get people interested in that and just go through the long and the short of it. I know there's a couple of dangers with sumps as far as when you return, or if it's not returning, you can flood and things like that.
That would be a good partial episode, just going over some tips and tricks that a lot of us have learned over time on how to set them up. It's something new for a lot of people, so it may seem scary, but it's actually very, very easy to set up a sump. But there's several reasons why you may want to consider that filter as well. I mean, one thing would be performance. Performance meaning, how much flow are you getting out of your filter? Is it getting worn out? Is the impeller worn out? Is it not up to par on gallons per hour? Lots of new technology out there. A lot of filters that are putting out 500, 600, 700 gallons per hour. And something else you may want to consider, and I've been a firm advocate, anybody who knows me, I'm an advocate of redundancy. I want 2 filters on every tank I own. Mechanical device, we touched on this on probably quite a few episodes. Mechanical device can and will fail someday. Who knows when that day is?
Yeah.
2 years from now, 20 minutes from now. So having a spare means that you'll keep the fish happy.
Yeah, and that's another great upgrade, tips and tricks. So I have multiple heaters in my aquarium, which is kind of overkill because I live in the South, right? So it's not like it gets all that cold. But I have one, my heaters run at 80, right? So I have it set at 80, but I have another one set at 74 in there. And it's never on, so I know I'm not like blowing it out. It's just in the water, and it's on, but if it ever drops below 74, then this one will kick on, and that's a good upgrade thing to have. So if you got a little extra cash and you're like, how can I maximize my tank, especially if you live up north, having that extra heater is a good idea.
Yeah, especially if you have a sump as well, where you can, I've got multiple heaters in some of my sumps on these bigger setups. For you guys who don't have a sump, that I mean, I'm not saying it's the best thing since sliced bread. I'm just saying it's very nice to hide a lot of things in it behind closed doors, so it's not in your fish tank. But upgrading your filtration will also, you'll find that there's less maintenance to do. So if you're just barely getting by with your filtration now, then you're going to have to clean it a lot more. I just spoke with somebody minutes before the show, and a very, very small, cheap canister filter on the tank. The tank has a weird smell. Water changes every 2 weeks, and it's just not enough filtration. So our discussion was, hey, more water changes, need more filtration, and problem will go away. So for big canisters and even sumps, I mean, the sump maybe once a week, all you got to do is change the filter pad. For us who run, big canisters, you have two canisters on a tank. You clean out the canister about every 3 or 4 months. And then you hit the other one a couple months later. It's a lot less work than a lot of other filters out there, and also, you may want to upgrade to a bigger filter because you want more gallons per hour, and that's the only way you're going to get it is to increase pump size, increase filter size. But filtration would probably be one of, if I don't know about you, Dave, but I would consider that probably one of the most, if not the most important upgrade that you need to factor in.
Absolutely. And if you've got like two fluval, let's just say, 406s that have roughly 400 gallons per hour. If you add another one, you actually do have 800 gallons per hour because you're filtering that 400 and you're filtering it again 400. So it is one of the best upgrades. I had an HOB, Aqua Clear 70, and a Fluval 205. It was an old one that came with the tank that I got for Oscar. And it was always smelly. The Oscars are dirty fish. They're just dirty bastard. But it was always smelly, and it would get not crystal clear all the time. Well, as soon as when I bought that acrylic tank, I believe I got a Fluval 406 with it. And as soon as I added that Fluval 406, it's been crystal clear, and that's been 7 or 8 months. I mean, literally crystal clear. I've cleaned that filter maybe 3 times. I changed filter floss in there. But just the extra bio and the mechanical and all that.
It makes a big difference.
Yeah.
I mean, I get into it every once in a while with people. You guys will go out and spend $500 or $600 on a fish tank. You'll spend $500 or $600 on fish and all of the equipment. But I see a certain amount of people, so to speak, that are forgetting that they need more filtration, and I think it's not necessarily their fault. I think it's the way these things are being marketed from the companies. They put on the box up to 75-gallon tank. So you look at it and you go, "Oh, I've got a 75-gallon tank. That's all I need."
Yeah.
That's not real. So whatever you see the box say up to 100 gallons, my policy is divide in half. So if you've got a 75-gallon tank and that filter says up to 75 gallons, it's realistically good for about a 40-gallon tank. So get an extra one. You're spending a lot of money on a lot of other parts of the aquarium, and at the end of the day, these are our fish, and we want the best care possible for them.
Yeah.
Save up, get an extra filter, and it will be probably the best well-spent money you have put towards your fish tank, in my opinion.
Yeah. So let me share, if I could, Ron, just a couple real-world situations. Now, I'm always looking at Facebook Marketplace and looking for deals, and I look at tanks, but I don't look at the tank so much. I look at the setup. Right. What filter does it have? What light does it have? I got a 30-gallon tank one time with a stand. I think I paid $100, but it had a Fluval 306 and a Finex 24/7 planted light. Right.
You got your money's worth right there.
Yeah. So I bought it. I sold the tank and the stand, and basically made the light and the filter, cost me nothing. Well, let me give you a real world example. I've got a 75-gallon Mbuna tank, and I have close to 40 fish in there. That's pushing it. Okay, that's a little bit too many fish in there. But some of them are in grow out stage. Half of them are 4 inches and bigger. So, and they're all kind of getting along. Although I found poor guy today. But anyway, I moved the tank boss out. He's with the peacocks right now. But here's what I got on there. Okay, I have a Fluval 405, which is a 325 gallon per hour filter, and then I have a Sun 704. I have 2 of those on there, and those are 525 gallon filters.
Great filter.
Yeah, so I've got 3 big canisters on there full of bio. Actually, one of the Suns I do a lot of filter floss in there, so I just have to change the one. But anyway, I have crystal clear water. Everything's great. These fish are happy. The nitrates, when I had it, just the 405, the nitrates were at about 40. I can't get around anything less than 40. It's just not possible with me. But I do change their water twice a week at about 60 to 70%. Change most of the water twice a week with those 3 canisters. But I'll tell you this, my fish are happy fish, outside of the politics and the fist fights that break out. But in general, as far as healthy fish, well, partially I feed them this really great food from this guy down in Florida, and I give them a lot of clean water and the filtration. So that's a real world example of how you can upgrade your tank. You got too many fish in there, like that. Most people would say, Dave, 40 is too many. Just add some more filters, get all that stuff in there.
Another filter that is commonly overlooked, but damn, I run a bunch of them and they work so good, is sponge filters, guys.
Yeah.
You may not want the sponge filter in your tank. That's fine. But for any of you guys running the sump and you want a little more polishing, so to speak, and you're like, well, how do I get more polishing out of a sump? There's really no place to put polyfill. Put a couple sponge filters in your sump and run them with an air pump. Trust me when I tell you that little sponge will pull out every little fine particle that you can even think of, and it's extra bio. So I'm gonna drop another tip on you guys here. In all of my wet dries, I have sponge filters and extra media. Why? It's because when I want to set up another tank, boom, I've got media seated, ready to go to set up a new tank. No cycling, I'm good to go. So for any of you guys running a sump, let's say you have to set up a hospital tank out of the clear blue, or you've got babies and you got to set up a baby tank, run a couple sponge filters with air pumps in your sump. They don't make that much noise, and it will do a great job polishing and extra media. So it just came to me. I remembered that because they're in all of my filters.
Yeah. So I'm just wondering, Ron, because it kind of touches on part of the thing I was going to do. Maybe I can take the rest of that list and I'll just pound through it real fast.
Sure.
And then we'll go and we'll take a break and have some questions. Right. So let me, excuse me, guys, while I pull something up here. So the rest of what Ron has on his list, and we talked a little bit about this, is your external stuff, your lights and your heaters and your power heads and temperature controllers and things like that. Those are great things to upgrade. Okay, you got the filtration down and all that. So there are some really powerfully cool lights nowadays. Current USA's got the new Serene lighting system, which is super awesome. If you haven't seen that, that's a light over the top. It's got speakers, and it plays these natural sounds, and the lights change to it, and it also has a background light. And some of the filters, some of the tanks that I have underwater lights. And what I'm talking about here is also some of the new prizes on the spin to win wheel, by the way. But those are really cool. I have some pond lights. They're like about a 4-inch light that I bury in the substrate, so it just barely shows up, but it lights up that rock a little different. And you get really, really cool things. So there's a lot of different kinds of things you can upgrade as far as when it comes to lights. Sometimes if you want to grow plants, now sometimes African cichlids and plants don't go hand in hand, but let's say you're in some new world, upgrading your light to higher wattage and more spectrum is what they call it. Is good. Finex makes some great lights. Like I said, Current USA has some great lights. Even Fluval, the Aqua Skies, and some of those are really cool. And you're going to love it. You'll see the difference. So if you're going from like an old light that's just a kind of white and blue, switch on, switch off, right?
Incandescent from your grandma's fish tank.
Yeah, yeah, from your grow room down in the basement. Anyway, so yeah. Anyway, there's a lot of cool options for lights. I like underwater stuff. That's one of my upgrade hacks. Is get yourself. They're not very expensive, less than $30, and put it underwater. Have it so it shines up. I actually take PVC and I'll cut a section out of the middle of a PVC pipe and then slide it in so it doesn't get crushed or anything like that. Some of the other things are with heaters. There are more efficient heaters than others. So if you're using like 100 watt and you have a 120 gallon, that heater's always on, is always trying to work, and is a little underpowered. And upgrading to a really reliable higher wattage unit is really good. Something like an Eheim. Eheim makes this 300 watts. Some titanium heaters, things like that. Also, we talk about power heads and air pumps all the time. With power heads, you get the more circulation, but what I use my power heads a lot, and so we just talked about my tank, 40 fish in there. My biggest issue is oxygen. Okay, my little fishies, suck all the oxygen out of the water. So I've got 2 4-inch sponges in there that produces some oxygen, but I use my power head so it really breaks the surface of the top of the tank. And when I go to sleep, I just turn it off, so it's not this rumbling river. My Mbuna tank is in my bedroom. So power heads can also help with the waste building up on the bottom. Keeps the circulation and the oxygen up. If you're running air stones and sponges, filters, maybe a larger air pump. Or if you've got multiple tanks, upgrading. So instead of having a bunch of 60s or 20s or even the 100s, buy a powerful air pump. They usually come with manifolds, and you can run them out there. I also said, like, one of the biggest things I like to do on the upgrade are run these reactors, like K1 media reactors inside the tanks. They're kind of cool. And those all run on air. So having enough powerful air, and you guys all, I mean, if you're like me, or I'm sure Ron went through the same thing, we buy this, I forget the name of it. It's either Aquanet or whatever, the silent one, the little blue one. And we buy the 100, then we split it twice, and it's like doesn't work for us anymore. So they make really powerful air pumps with manifolds. And,
big ones.
Yeah. And you'll use it. Some of the other things are like temperature controllers. They're upgrading the larger tank. You want some additional control over your temperature. There's the rain birds. What's it called? Inkbird, that's right. The Inkbirds, and then also they can run chillers as well. There's kinds of Inkbirds that will keep them chill, keep them warm. Those are great additions and great upgrades. They help you out a lot. Also, things like submersible pumps for your water changes. I can't tell you how much that, or a Python if you don't have a Python yet. Those are great money spent.
That's a good upgrade from the bucket.
yeah, it's great money spent. I think I paid $40 for mine, and I went from, I don't know how long it took me with the Python, but it was about 4 times faster. I mean, it's so fast that I can't walk away from it anymore. You know what I mean? Luckily, I haven't had any issues there, but you just can't walk away, or it sucks all the water out, and your fish are like, what is up? Anyway, those are some cool stuff, and one of the coolest ones that I really, 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 really dig, and I'm going to see if I can pull this up right now. Let's see. I don't know if that's going to work. Let me see. I'm trying to be able to pull up my web page. Just go woo picker like that.
While you're doing that, I'm going to touch on UV sterilizer because somebody was asking about it.
Yeah.
For a UV sterilizer, I see value in UV sterilizers. I use them a lot. But as I was explaining to someone the other day, you don't really know if you need a UV sterilizer. You don't really know if the UV sterilizer is doing anything for you. For most of us, our fish tanks are okay, so you're not going to see the benefit of a UV sterilizer. But if you have an algae bloom or a bacterial bloom, or there's some other issues that you may not have addressed, the UV sterilizer helps with that. But a UV sterilizer, no matter how beneficial it can be, it can also be destructive if not set up correctly. UV sterilizers are all about dwell time. Too much water flow, it doesn't work worth a crap. Not enough water flow, and you kill beneficial bacteria. So
Yeah.
that'll be another topic. You guys can always reach out to me, but I suggest you do some serious research on UV sterilization and go from there.
There's a lot of hype about it too. I mean, here's the thing: is I have UV sterilizers built into my canisters, right? But I still get bacterial infections in my tank. You know, I still get occasional fish. They'll get a cloudy eye, and I got to pull them out. Which is one of the things that they talk about with UV sterilization is killing the germs and all that.
But the UV sterilizer in built-in canisters is it's a great selling feature, but they are about worthless.
I agree.
They don't have the proper dwell time, and the water gets in the bulb. There's pore seals. I never even if I buy a brand new one with the UV sterilizer, I never turn it on. I don't use it.
Yeah. So I found what I was looking for, and this is kind of like one of these life hacks, and I shared it out in a few groups, and I was surprised at how many people haven't seen this type of stuff. So I've always been really interested in reef setups, and particularly like the automation systems with the Bluetooth and turning on the wave makers and the dosing
Technology.
units and all that stuff. Well, I'm going to share with you right now a really cool hack upgrade that you can do. And I have these on all my tanks. This is a Wi-Fi outlet. Okay. So each one of those four, let me turn the dang drum roll. You hear it in the background? You don't hear it, Ron, but I'm sure they do. Okay. So those are 4 individual controlled outlets that you can use with Alexa. I can use my Alexa and say, Alexa, turn off the tank 1 light, and it will turn it off. I also have mine programmed so that it contacts Google. It finds out when the sun goes down in my area, and then it turns the lights down at that time, and it turns them on for that time. So it's one of the coolest little hacks you can do. I put one of these on the spin to win wheel, and hopefully we can give a couple of these things away here.
It's amazing what technology has accomplished in the last 5 years for aquariums. It's none of this stuff was around when I started. I mean, incandescent light bulbs, a couple different types of filters. That was it. No temperature controllers. It's just amazing how far technology has come.
Yeah. And so, I mean, one of the main things I got it for was for air pumps. Okay, so the air pump doesn't need to be on all the time, right? And I was counting up every watt in the. Let me bring us both back here. I was counting every watt that I was using, and so your biggest wattage, of course, is your heater, and it says 300 watts. It's drawing 300 watts. Your canisters, for the most part, draw around 50 watts. I think the Fluval 405 when I looked it up was around 43 watts. Obviously, your air pumps and things like that are pretty low. But I was using these Wi-Fi on timers, and so I would say turn the air pump on for 2 hours and then shut it off for an hour, and turn it on for 2 hours, shut it off for an hour, or whatever the cycle that I wanted it to do. So that was another cool way to do that, is that you can, turn things on and off on multiple timers. So it's
It'd
not
be good for any of you guys that want to turn your tank off when you feed it. So instead of unplugging it, all you got to do is, either hit the remote or, like Dave said, Alexa, turn off tank.
Yeah,
5
exactly.
minutes.
Exactly.
That's cool.
All right, everybody. So that's pretty much the dipping of the toes. And so Ron and I talked about this earlier too. A lot of what these shows are is just dipping your toes in the water. Get you excited to start looking out there. All this information's on the internet. Look at ways you can upgrade, but we want to know like the cool stuff that you figure out, right? So go ahead and post them up in Ron's Cichlids, and particularly in the Ron's DIY group. Throw us out. What are you doing that's cool and things like that. We're going to take a quick break. This show is sponsored by Acrylic Habitats. Acrylic Habitats has this sump, and this month is when this sump is coming out. We're giving away it's not a sump, it's actually a wet dry. So let me pull that up. Here's the wet dry. It's a large, as you can see, you put a lot of biomedia in there, and throw your extra heaters in there, or your reactors, everything you want. Grow some plants out of it. It's pretty cool. These things cost $500, and when Acrylic Habitats, which is formerly known as Windrider Creations, saw the show and liked it and said, hey, we're going to do that. So I've been building out a new website for them. They got a new name, and it's acrylichabitats.com. This is a cool little fun thing. If you ever want to see some fun things, I was pretty happy with the way that came out. They also build aquariums and other types of sumps. Mario Vidakovich creates really beautiful enclosures and stands. They also do bird aviaries. Okay, I wish I could stop it. I can't. Did you see that red one? That one's a really small sump, which is really cool, but it can do up to 100 gallons. So that's another cool thing about that. And so this is it, everybody. This is what it's all about. Tank Boss is a live multimedia game show. We want you to apply to be on there. There's going to be big prizes. What happens is 3 people battle. Those 3 move on to 2 of those people move on to the next round. Then there's a bonus round for the final winner. That's your Tank Boss. After 9 months or 9 Tank Bosses, they're going to return for the Tank Boss Championships tournament. And I guarantee you this prize is going to be really large to become the ultimate tank boss. So we want you to apply and do all that good stuff. Let's bring back Ron and the chat overlay. A lot of great information. Looks like people are really digging the show right now. Ron, we do have some questions, so I'll go ahead and ask those questions. But let me bring the caller on, and I'm going to let you just greet them and all that. Here's the first caller right here. Hey, caller. So I got you both on. Hold on a second. Let's do the one here first. So, is that Kim? Is that Kimberly Bosworth? It's not. Okay. Look, what's going on? Who's this? Oh, awesome.
Hey, Beth. How are you tonight? Fire away.
Okay. Gotten rid of and it what
I would. Easy. I don't know. Water drain. Air would not be very difficult to set up. I would a little bit of time, probably. How to set up. Guaranteed, got to be a lot of content. How to hook them up. Also, probably business that sell wet dries have tutorial videos would apply. The concept is the same. So regardless if the tank has an overflow that slides on, same concept. Drains down a hose. Water pump.
we were just completely tank coming. Birds were trying.
Yeah, wait till you get it. Go ahead and evaluate what you have. Not that. All right.
Awesome, Beth.
Bye,
Glad
Dave.
you
Have a good night.
glad you called in. All right, we have another call.
Thank you, Dave.
Yeah, take care, Beth. We have another caller.
All right, you too.
Okay. We have another caller on the line. Just go ahead and hold up. We appreciate you calling in. We're going to try to get through some questions here. I'll ask them out. Let me see what this says. All right, so there we go. Just double check here. All right, let's see. There we go. All right, Ron. So not a lot of questions. We'll go ahead and start with this is great. This is great.
Hey.
So yeah.
You've got my mic turned.
Wonder how that happened. All right. All right. So the next question that we have here is Missy Straight wants to know: can a female Kenyi seem like a male? No egg spots, slight color morphia. So go ahead and answer that.
Sometimes yes, I've seen it a lot in female Mbuna. They can sometimes take the look of a subdominant male, so the males don't mess with them for breeding. But a female Kenyai, how are you? You have to identify whether or not it's actually doing the transition. So unless you've seen the female actually spawn and hold eggs, we can't assume it's a female.
Yeah, give the little background on that. The Kenyi is a special fish that all the juveniles look like they're females and then they change.
Yeah, they're one of the species. There's many species that they're all born and they look the same. As they mature, males will turn yellow and eventually, in most cases, lose those stripes. Females will stay blue.
Yeah.
I've seen subdominant males go back and forth, but if that color morph is happening, then there's a high probability it's actually a male.
Yeah, and if you ever want to see a juiced fish, get a 1.5 inch Kenyi that has been juiced, and it's like part yellow and part blue. It doesn't know what it is. It's
Thumbnail
crazy.
size.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Missy, for that question. Manny Villa is asking a question: is how to treat fish with medicine and don't have a quarantine tank. Is it okay to treat the entire tank? So I guess the question is it okay to treat an entire tank with medicine?
Yes, it depends on what you are. You have to identify what exactly is really the problem and then how to medicate. So if it's something like an internal parasite, yes, you want to treat everybody, not just one fish, because you don't know if anybody else has it. If you have one fish that's got a little bit of fin rot and nobody else does, then you need to pull him out, put him in another tank, and treat him separate. So sometimes yes, sometimes no. Quarantine tanks, 20 gallons are, relatively inexpensive.
20 bucks.
Petco $1 per gallon sale, 20 bucks. I'm going to run a sale here for my local customers one of these days. I've been joking about it. I got tanks piled up on the porch, and it's going to be buy one fish, get a fish tank free.
That's awesome.
I got 10 gallons and 20 gallons coming.
Hey, Manny, we appreciate that question very much. Stacy Smith says, how does one hook up sump? Let's go ahead and wait for that one for a sump episode.
Or you can look that up online as well, Google or anywhere else.
Brent Bonstetter says, what are your thoughts about sponge filters? I think we kind of went over that earlier. So Dave Riley has a great comment here with current USA has some awesome customer service. Yes, they do.
They do. Great company.
I'd like to give a shout out to my new friend over there, Kat. She's an awesome lady and enjoyed our conversation. So we're looking for good things from
Current
there.
USA.
Yeah, at Current USA. John Jacob Wagner is asking about UV. I think we went over that.
Yep.
We went over a little bit about power heads and wave makers, and no specific question there. Daniel Carrasquillo. Is there such thing as too much filtration? I think I'm adding another one. I think we kind of went through that. The quick answer to that, Daniel, is no. There's no such thing as overfiltration. Obviously, if your fish are tumbling in the waves generated by your 1,500 gallon per hour wave maker, then yeah.
Then knock it back a little bit, you know. There's a difference between filtration and a water movement. So even though you've only got maybe 1,000 gallons per hour with the canister, 2 or 3 massive power heads, which people end up buying too big of power heads, and their fish get tossed around like the wash machine at the laundromat.
Yeah. Here's a great question for you by Kevin Shannon, our good friend. He wants to know, how do you go about convincing your spouse that you need an upgrade?
First thing you need to do is evaluate how close your relationship actually is.
Oh, here we go.
Once you identified that she's not going to leave you no matter what, let her take the kids to grandma's house for the weekend, all expenses paid, or a hotel. And while she's gone, you put a bigger tank in the house, sell the other one. You got to do that. And then deal with the couch for a couple days, ask for forgiveness, and by a week later, you're good to go, brother.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks, Kevin, for that. You've heard me say it before. It's the best way to keep the house aggression, like tank aggression with your spouse, is get her a tank, let her decorate it, let her pick out the stock, let it be hers, and you take care of the tank for her. It's the best way to do it.
Absolutely.
Hey, our good friend Matt Gin and Whiskey wants to know how big of a sump for a 125. Really,
if you're looking for making your own, I would do it out of a 40-gallon breeder tank. If you're going to buy one, then I would buy one that would be rated for like a 200-gallon tank. I like to go quite a bit bigger. I run 125-gallon wet dries on my 75s and my 90s. So I would get one that was for a bigger tank, like that would handle 200 to 250 gallons.
And here's the other thing, Matt, is you're going to upgrade whatever you got. You got 125 now, you're going to get a bigger one. So get the bigger sump now. get the 55-gallon or the 75-gallon. Just grab yourself you can buy 75-gallon tanks for about $100 when they got the dollar per tank. So the dollar per tank is half off. So anyway, that's a great way to do it from Petco. How much is the correct dosage is safe for 125-gallon, Ron?
As per the bottle, it's a quarter teaspoon for 300 gallons. So I would say an eighth of a teaspoon, but I'm not one of those people for correct dosages. If you need to add safe, then you don't know what your water company's doing. I would be in the habit for doing any water change on like 125 gallon or less. I would use a full quarter teaspoon at minimum. It's cheap, very, very cheap. Use it heavy handed, and you won't ever have any issues.
Yeah, I think I put 3 teaspoons in with my water change earlier in a 75 gallon. And again, I got 40 dang fish in there, and so there you go. Just block it all up. I do a lot of water changes, though. That's my safety net. Is two times a week I'm changing that water regardless. Hey, how many peacocks and haps would you put in a 60 gallon? Well, it really depends on the type of hap, but on a general rule, what would you say to John Zuber on that, Ron?
Depends on the shape of the tank, and understand their full size when they get done growing. You're probably going to be around the 12 mark, 10 or 12. You have to understand that even peacocks can reach 7 or 8 inches long.
Yeah.
And
60 is a good grow out. So if you're buying juvies, you probably get 15 or So
It's a great tank, like you're saying, for growing out. And once the fish get a little bigger, it gives you a reason to upgrade.
yeah,
You know?
yeah. So Larry Deskin's asking some size for 220. It depends on how much
Definitely
filtration you
something
want.
probably for a 350, 400 gallon tank. I would probably use a 60 gallon low boy filter, not filter, but a sump. And if you're a DIY guy, if not, then you're gonna. What I had on my 250 gallon was an Aqueon Proflex 4. It held 24 gallons of water, had 3 big filter socks. So for a tank that size, you're gonna want something that holds at rest 22 to 25 gallons, maybe even 30 gallons of water.
All right, so let's go ahead and why don't you welcome our next caller from area code 724.
724. How are you tonight?
I'm good. How about you?
Good. Who
what-
is this?
This is Missy.
Hello, Missy. How are you tonight?
Where are you calling from?
I'm okay. Pennsylvania.
Awesome.
All right. What can I help you with tonight?
Question about the power heads.
All right.
I want to know where the best placement for them would be.
The best placement for what?
Powerhead.
For the power heads to be inside the tank.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Top corners of the tank is where I like them. They're, so for behind me here, like where I'm pointing, I've got one in this corner of the tank, and then I've got one in this corner of the tank, and I have them strategically placed so it has a current, an eddy in the tank to keep all of the poo up off the bottom and sucked up by the filters. So if you put it in the back corner, like there's one right there in the back corner of this tank, and you'll never see it. And even though it's there, if you get a black one, and you have like a black background or a dark background, it disappears. And then these days,
Okay,
they've
my
got
power
some-
head has a double head.
Okay.
It's not two different ones. It's one that has two heads on it. And it's swivelable where I can move both heads in different directions. What would be the best way to put that one?
You can do it a couple of different ways. What I would do is I would put it on the back side wall, one facing up and one facing down, pushing along the back or towards the front. Yeah. That way it gives them a little.
I like it along the back, like Dave was talking about, because that's where the tank is open, and that's where you're bringing fresh oxygen in.
Okay.
Awesome. Appreciate you calling in, Missy.
Thanks, Missy.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Talk to you next time. Hey, we just got a little message from Mr. Mario Vidakovich. How come you don't call in, Mario? What's up? What's up? You need to call in, buddy. Anyway,
introduce yourself. Let all these wonderful people know about your amazing skill set.
Yeah, next time we should do a little feature on Mario. Mario is a really cool guy and a very nice guy, but he's also extremely talented in what he does.
Extremely.
Buying used tanks, do you think $1 per gallon is fair? So this is what I used to always say when I worked in sales and all of that. Hey, if you're happy with the price, then you're happy with the price. So you got to answer that question, Bobby, but we appreciate you asking. Let's go ahead and progress to, what do you think, Ron?
I'm ready to give some stuff away.
Let's do that. So let's talk about the wheel. There's a few new things on there for the month of May. Obviously, Wi-Fi is on there. Let me find it here. We've also put, oops, that's the wrong file. So we've also put some Purigen on there. There's 200 mil packet is a prize. A submersible light. We were trying to think of like upgrades and things like that. Let me pull us back here. Also in there is the submersible light can go underwater. You'll see it on there. The Wi-Fi power strip. Obviously, we got the Seacom Safe is still on there. Someone wanted to know the difference between Seacom Safe and Prime. Basically, Safe is a way more concentrated, but it doesn't also have a preservative. So, and it's a dry form. Prime is your wet form. It has a preservative in it. Safe doesn't. But like you said, like a cap is for 50 gallons for Prime. Whereas, a quarter teaspoon is 300 gallons. So that's kind of the difference on there. We still have the API's Freshwater Master Kit. We added some API stress coat. I'm totally drawing a blank. Ron, the stress coat's got aloe vera in it. It's really, really good. Tell them about that.
You know, stress coat, I've been using it 25 plus years. Don't use it as a dechlorinator, okay? Yes, it does it, but it doesn't do it very well. It's just don't use it as a dechlorinator. What I like to use it for is for healing of the fins, for anything that needs to heal up. And the aloe vera is amazing. So for anybody who's ever got fish from me, there is stress coat in every single bag of fish that leaves here. It helps heal anything up in transit when they're in the bag. If you've got a fish that's got ick, after you get done getting rid of the ick, the aloe will help heal them up. If someone's got a wound or a sore or a tattered fin, the stress coat and water changes will help heal it up. It's amazing stuff.
So with our fish, they get beat up. So you see a beat up fish. One of the first things that happens to the fish is it starts losing its slime coat. And that slime coat is extremely important. And so by double dosing or 4 times dosing stress coat into a quarantine tank, it'll really help that fish out. Anyway, on the wheel, we still have food prizes. We've got discounts. We've got cichlid bucks. And, of course, you can win large fish from Ron's shop there, shop.roncichlids.com. Those are the grand prizes that we like to give away. I don't think we hit 100 tonight, Ron, but we certainly are going to give some people the option to spin the wheel and win. So let's go ahead and take a look here. So it's that time again. All right. All right, so we're going to give away some stuff here, and we need to put in the ticker. We need a hashtag for this, Ron. So can you give us a hashtag?
Just hashtag upgrade.
How about hashtag? No. Just kidding.
7.5 hashtags. Let's just do hashtag upgrade.
Okay, so Ron wants to run with hashtag upgrade. So I'm going to play this song during this time, put into the chat right now. Hashtag upgrade.
When your love gets strong, when your love it will break the fear. When your love gets wide, it will bring you near.
So right now, put into the chat hashtag upgrade. If you're chosen through our software, you will be spinning the wheel tonight. I'm kind of losing my iPad there, Ron, so you'll have to help me when we ask for people to verify that they're there.
Yeah, I'll take it.
So I got you, Mark Rolls. We got Kimberly Bosworth, Brandy Bird, Tasha Dunn is on there with the hashtag upgrade. We got Matt Gin and Whiskey, and we've got Isaac Garcia. Who else is out there and wants to win something? Okay, Mr. Dave Riley, we got you. TJ Huffstedler, Ella Gregory. Go ahead and put that in right now. We got a few more seconds, and then we're going for it. We've also got a spin for the chatbot. So why don't we do that right now? I'm going to bring that spin to win wheel up right here. First, let's look at the first pick. That was Ella Gregory. Ella, you still on board with us?
Yeah, she had just done the hashtag upgrade, so she's definitely on there.
Okay, Ella, we're going to go ahead and spin for you. I'm going to have Ron pick out some colors, and let's change the time in which it spins. Ron, go ahead and tell me From between 7 and 15 seconds, please.
Let's do 12 seconds.
Okay, 12 seconds spin. We're going to apply those changes right now. All right, so tell me, give me a color. You know the drill.
Yep, I want that darker purple.
Okay, the 11 o'clock or 5 o'clock?
11 o'clock.
Okay, and where are you going to start that?
I'm going to go with 6 o'clock.
So there it is right there. This is for Ella. There she is. I just saw her. Ella, we're going to spin this for you. We're hoping it's a box, a fish, a large fish off of Ron Cichlids. Good luck.
Yeah, buddy.
You guys don't get to hear the ticking sound. On my end, I hear a ticking sound. Tick, tick, tick. Well, there you go. Free money. You want to announce that off, Ron?
$25 gift card. Man, that's a good prize right there. Congratulations, Ella.
Yeah, congratulations.
Reach out to me tomorrow, and I will. I'll get that sent out to you.
Free money. Hey, we just concluded your monthly food promo, the Willy Wonka Chocolate Factory. Find a tank sticker. We still don't have an announcement on the 100, but it's out now because all of those are out, right?
They are all out.
Yeah.
I can guarantee you they're all out. So tonight's the last night, but I'm pretty sure, like Dave just said, at this point, all the stickers are out. There's 8 of them that have not been claimed yet. So I'm not going to twist y'all's arm, but somebody's got stickers at home in their bags, and they haven't opened the bags to look for them. They're right on top.
So here's the deal with that is you only have through this month of May to claim it. If you don't claim it by May 31st, then what you won is a tank sticker. But somebody's got $100 out there.
Free money.
All right, let's go ahead and go back and find out our next winner here. So I go to here, and we are going to, let me refresh this real quick. Of course, it always wants me to sign in with Facebook. All right, so here we go. We're going to pick by a hashtag, and that hashtag is '69 Mustang.
Nice. With no wheels.
Yeah, I still don't see it on here. So let me refresh this. Let me go post. Just takes a second, people. Bear with us. I would love to hire someone just to do this part of it. Love to be able to do that. Just be like, hey, this is what you do. Okay, bear with us just 1 second, please. Michael Anderson says he searched all 5 of his bags with no luck. We're sorry to hear that. Let's go ahead.
Should have bought 6.
So I haven't seen the chat. I mean, people were actually putting in upgrade, hashtag upgrade. That was going in there.
I see one right here still up on the screen. Hashtag upgrade. UPGRADE.
Okay, well, it's not showing up for me yet. I'm not really too sure what's happening there.
There may be a lag in there.
There might be a lag. What I can do is I can go ahead and select by anybody that commented, which would do that, and then only once per comment. So anybody that's made a mention on here, we'll go ahead and pick that way. Still don't have it. That's crazy. All right, then. Here we go. There it is. Yeah, there is a lag. Mr. Ronaldo Diaz from Miami.
Awesome. He's one of my local guys.
Congratulations, Ron. Or, Reynaldo,
Yep.
I should say, Ray. All right, let's pull up that spin to win. Don't run anywhere yet, people. All right, so here's our spin to win wheel. We're hoping to give away that fish. So I'm going to pick the color. You're going to pick the position. I want to go with this orange one that's at 7 o'clock. So where do you want me to put that?
11 o'clock.
up to 11 o'clock. How about 11:07 right there?
Okay.
Good luck, Ronaldo. Here it is. There you go. That's a nice prize.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Congratulations, Ronaldo.
you got that 2-pack of Purigen. Purigen is great. It's a chemical filtration. It's resin balls. The cool thing about it is it works a lot like carbon, but you can recharge it. So it's great. Love to see you.
Yeah, you can keep reusing it, like Dave said. You can recharge it. That's the great thing about Purigen.
Yeah.
Reach out to me tomorrow, and I will get that shipped out to you.
Yeah. All right. So where are we at as far as everything goes, Ron?
Probably need to give something else away.
So let's go ahead and give a pound of food away. I saw some people
right.
said they need some food. So let's
There
give
we go.
let's give a pound of food away. Are you good with that?
Absolutely.
All right. So let's go ahead and pick by the people that reacted on this. Actually, let's pick on people that reacted on last week's episode. How about that? Does that sound good?
Well, if those people aren't here, we want to make sure the people that are here now are here.
All right, let's do it on this reaction then. So whoever put a like, a heart, an angry sign, a sad face, or whatever, you are getting a 1 pound of food of your choice, and that is Pam. I can't read it. Sorry, Pammy Benya. Pammy.
I can't see it.
She gave it a like on the show. Is she there? Just need a quick shout out from Pammy. While we do that, let's go ahead. We're bringing the fish of the week back this week. Oops, wrong fish. That's the old one. Here we go. So the way the fish of the week, I'm going to let Ron describe this fish, but the way it works is that he gives a 25% off, and he said he's got a bunch of extra larges of these. So go ahead and tell us about this fish there, Ron.
Fish of the week is a OB peacock. The ones I have right now are OB dragons. Beautiful fish. I've got some 4.5 to 5 inch, just beautiful, sexy beasts there. I've got some pinkish red, blue, red, white, and blues we call them. I've got some yellows, some oranges, some pinks and oranges, some beautiful fish. The OB peacock is a hybrid, created by man a long time ago, between a baboona and a peacock. Probably one of the biggest mainstays in the hobby. So the code is OBS 10. If you use that code at checkout, you get a discount between now and I think Thursday, end of business. We usually run it for 48 hours.
Yeah, I think 11:59 p.m. is usually on Thursday night. So this is a great opportunity for you to grab some fish. Like he said, he's got some different colors of that. So do that. Upgrade. Get yourself some fish. Get yourself some fish. Speaking of upgrades, let's go ahead and take a look at the member of the video of the week. This is a new person in the clubhouse, Chris Pearson. And I just really dug his Tropheus that he has.
They're really cool fish. For you guys that don't know Tropheus, they're basically a species-only community type fish. They like being together and schooling. These look like pineapple Tropheus morais. There's as most Tropheus, as they get older, they'll color morph into their more permanent color. Lots of different species of Tropheus, but beautiful fish. These guys are all juveniles in here, but they're already schooling together and amazing.
Yeah, got a lot of activity going. These dark ones that are black with the white dots, those dots are going to go away, and I'm pretty sure they're going to get a yellow stripe in the middle of their body. And they got those pineapples. Pretty cool. Now, again, we want to go ahead and push one group here, and this is the marketplace.
Hey guys, my name's TJ. I'm the admin for Ron Cichlids Clubhouse page. Also, I run a small group which is the Aquarist Marketplace. Awesome group. I encourage everyone to join. If you're looking to buy, sell, trade, fish, equipment, aquariums, whatever, that's the place for you. Also, breeders, you're encouraged, more than welcome to join as well. Post up your stock list, what you got, take some pictures of your show fish, advertise your groups. There is no limit, guys. This is the place. If you're looking for something rare, this is the place to go find it. Looking forward to having you guys there soon.
All right, it's that weekend. Ron's headed down to South Carolina. Why don't you tell them about what you do on this here, Ron?
Thank you, Dave. For some of you guys who may not familiar, I have another house in South Carolina, so about 1 to 3 times a month, I'm going to the other house to go chill out. I meet customers all along the way, along I-95 on the eastern coast, from Palm Beach all the way to southern South Carolina by Hilton Head, Bluffton area. It's a great opportunity for you to meet me, to get fish. If you place an order with me or give me some type of heads up, I will bring the fish to you at our meeting place, and you can save yourself a lot of money in shipping, and you get to meet me. I get to meet you. Usually, it's not usually a quick handshake like you would think. You know, we end up talking about fish before you know it. You know, my family's like, "Hey, it's time to get going." So I love talking to you guys.
So one of the things about getting fish, is that it costs a lot of money to ship fish. So you can actually save a bunch of money. Put that order in for Ron. He'll bring it out, meet you on the side of the road. So what a great way to upgrade with a Fish of the Week at 25% off, and then have Ron bring it to you. All right, yeah. So I haven't seen Penny Benya. Anybody confirm or deny that? All right, so we're going to go ahead and pick another one here. Let's see, here we go. All right, so we're going to unpick Penny. Sorry, Pammy, excuse me. Sorry, Pammy. It does pay to watch the whole show. Here is our next person right here on the reaction for the post. So I gave everybody a chance to quickly like it. Yeah. All right, so here we go. The 1 pound of food of your choice is going to be going to Blue Regal. That's someone's name, Blue Regal.
It's their Facebook name.
Yeah.
It's not their real name.
So Blue Regal, you got a couple minutes to show up. If not, we'll run a free drawing in the clubhouse for the clubhouse members. So one of the things that I did want to say is, yeah, I just got a message that says she's there. I don't know if that's Blue Regal or Pammy. If it's you, Pammy, I'm sorry. We shouted you out. We tried to get you there, but we'll go ahead and take care of you in one way or another. So, one of the things...
there she is. Yeah. Just go ahead and reach out to Pammy, and I'll take care of you.
Okay, I can't see anything. So when you guys say she...
I didn't either. It was kind of hidden in there, and everybody else. Thank you, everybody else, for letting us know she was there. But Pammy, reach out to me, and I'll get you a pound of food as well. That's
awesome. Perfect. All right, so let me pull this back right here. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Let's go right here. So I don't know if y'all noticed that the show was very choppy at the very beginning, but ended up working out pretty good towards the end. And I'm upset with it too. I pay for the most bandwidth, which is the bandwidth is way out there, but we just don't get it. So I'm going to go kick the door in at Mediacom and see what they're doing. Just kidding. All right, so today we had an awesome discussion about upgrades. We talked about tank upgrades, fish upgrades. We talked about light upgrades. We also talked about, there's a lot of good information. If you missed any of it, you obviously can go back and check that out. Let me tell you what next week's all about. Next week, our topic is... we're going to dial in and talk specifically about mechanical and chemical filtration and how that works and some of the best ways to do that. and all that. So we're starting to get a little bit more focused in on that. Great job tonight, Ron. Super awesome. Some giveaways. I love the OB peacock. So if you're interested in that, go and check that out.
I got some really, really beautiful ones right now that have been, born and raised on my food, and that are my strain, that are just amazing fish. But no, it was a awesome show. I'm very happy the direction it went. I'm very happy to see so many people on, and I appreciate all of you guys. I appreciate you guys helping us grow, and again, I appreciate the support last week and being concerned about me. That love is deep, and I appreciate it.
All right, y'all have a good week. We'll see you next week.
Good night, guys.